Aquarius family, what is going on? Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at the energy for you this week. So welcome. So excited to have you here. I hope you're doing well after the full moon last week. We had the full moon in Libra. Oh, nice. This has actually been popping up for a lot of people, or a lot of the zodiacs, which is great. The healthy choices and the butterfly. Like really, truly, when we align with like taking care of ourselves, self-love, self-care, our well-being, mental, emotional health, it really does make a world of difference, right? Life seems to move a bit more systematically and fluidly. And we can make the transformations that we've been longing for. Bringing in those manifestations. Ooh, engagement ring. I love this. So that energy of proposing, obviously it is heavily linked to romantic relationships, but it doesn't have to specifically signify that. That's like anyone that we're trying to create partnership with. It could be business, something that is a little bit more committal, etc. Seeing the potential, the union that is with this other individual or situation, and what it can do and what it can create for you in your life, which is really powerful. Aquarius. I feel like some things have come to light about this situation. I feel like it's been a good reflection for you when we have to look and see, you know, where we played a role, what we want in regards to our relationships. I was watching this thing. I can't even remember the dude's name. I'm like so bad with like celebrities and who's who. But I was watching this clip on YouTube, and it was like he was reading, 50 different tips of advice from an 80-year-old man. And the guy was saying, like, choose your partners wisely, because they're going to be 90% of your joy or your struggle in life. And it's so true, right? We have to, whether it is long-term partnership, our community, our support system, we really have to make intentional decisions to bring people who honor and respect that and uphold it. Maybe you had someone who was faking it, right? Faking it to make it. Not really showing their true colors. You're seeing things from a different perspective. I love this sunglasses card. It really reminds me of kind of like lurking behind the scenes, like being a spy, kind of seeing what you can find about that person, etc. There's a pattern that's repeating itself is what I'm hearing, and it's kind of triggering different light bulbs. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm done with this. It's triggering those different, like moments where maybe you blindly trusted in someone, you got into a partnership. This actually, let me clarify that engagement ring. This could have been someone that you committed to without knowing the fullness of what you were committing to, right? What the partnership entailed. And that's being reflected back now versus this person's actions. Okay, so there is this twin flame union. As a disclaimer, I do not believe we need another person or soul to complete us. I think we can be whole and complete on our own, or that we are. Twin flame is really that concept of divine union. So someone new comes in that is really igniting that. It's synergy, and synergistic is what I should say. And it's making you look at this other situation and see it for what it really is, right? Like the falsity that is there. You've been waiting patiently for this moment with that Seven of Pentacles. You've been waiting, right? We see that with the sunglass energy. But someone's going to come in that's going to jostle that up a little bit, like I said. Interesting, Aquarius. Yeah, so forcing you to make a decision. And, you know, we come into these spaces in life, right? Like when, I don't know, there is a lot of conflict. I don't know, because we're always kind of put into these positions of like what we want versus what we think we should do, you know, and there is that level of integrity, really kind of making sure that you're checking in with yourself, you're thinking more serious decisions through, especially if you are leaving a partnership or relationships, etc., for something else. You know, we always want to make sure that we're closing off one chapter before starting something new. But I do often see this in my line of work where it's like, if we're not paying attention, something will come in to trigger that, to remind us of what it means to actually like live life and enjoy it and feel that passion and that desire. And I feel like you're really conflicted about what this is looking like for you, Aquarius. You could be dealing with, you know, a male masculine energy, that Aries, the Emperor. Oh, he wants to come out. He wants to come out. I shuffled, right? You guys saw that. So yeah, Emperor's Aries energy. It's someone who loves having the control of how things are gonna go, how it's gonna play out. It like gives them a sense of like calm or something, you know? Yeah, with that Six of Swords. Like they have the, I mean, moving from the 5 to 6, like I think you do see some progress, you know, but again, it kind of goes back to like really checking in with yourself and saying, you know, is this honestly truly what I want? And that's where the conflict comes into play. Because I think that you see the other side of it where it might not be very fulfilling and satisfying. Every relationship, everything in life gets mundane, right? It loses its, you know, its flair, its glitter, especially when we've been around it for a long time. But there's a difference between like, you know, being in the mundane and still caring for a person, a connection, thinking it is worth your time and energy versus like just doing it to do it. And what I see for you, Aquarius, is someone really wants to have the control in this situation. Maybe you do have family, maybe it is a long-term relationship, but they're really pushing for new options, new opportunity. But they're still kind of resistant. They're still being self-protected. And I feel like that's the part of it that rubs you the wrong way. You're like, I don't want to put up with this BS, you know? Maybe it is trying to ignite that passion from when you first knew each other. That can also be this engagement ring, like a time in your life where you were feeling this vibe towards them, where you believed in the love and the connection. But this person is refusing to go deep, like refusing to be emotional. Yeah, well, I get that though. It's like once they open Pandora's box, I think they're a little afraid of what's gonna come out. It feels very overwhelming to them. This is touching an issue for them that is like really deeply rooted, you know? So Queen of Wands. The Justice, it's Libra energy, dealing with the legal systems, contracts, self-victory. Okay, so, you know, I mean, obviously, because it's a lot, right? It's a lot to, I don't know, go through. Like, sometimes it is easier to try to work through things than it is putting up the fight of separating everything, of splitting up, especially if you guys are, you know, legally binding. Again, it doesn't specifically have to be romance. It could be a business contract. There's this halt being put on things. A halt meaning it's like at a standstill. The ending really hasn't manifested yet, but it's coming, and I feel like it is happening underneath the surface. Maybe you know that, but maybe you don't really want to acknowledge it. There's still this hope that this person is getting better or doing right by you, and they are. Like, I think that you see some sort of validation to that. Like, you see parts of them that, oh, okay, this is getting a little better. They are being a little more intentional, but it's a snail's pace, is what I'm hearing. And there's Capricorn, the devil. You could be on the Capricorn cusp. I just feel like the devil really also signifies the things that kind of control us, manipulate us, etc. So whatever the beef is, it's something that this person's going to have a really hard time overcoming and working themselves out of. It's that concept that it's always going to be a part of them. And I feel like you know that subconsciously. You know, but sometimes there is a lot of work up front when we make these decisions. It's not specifically easy, but it actually is going to bring a lot more balance, stability, happiness with that 10 of Cups. Sometimes we do have to go through some of that loss. Yeah, there's that death right there. So it looks kind of like a heavy week, guys. I'm so sorry to report this, Aquarius. I think it's something that you feel underneath the surface. Like I said, you've been putting, a heavily scrutinizing eye towards this situation for a minute to see whether or not, I mean, this makes more sense now, right? To see whether or not this person is being legit, or whether they're just kind of blowing smoke. It's hard because I think there's not a lot of like honesty. Yeah, dude, this guy, I swear, she comes out like every reading or almost, you know, basically. It's legit been like 95% of the readings that we've done this week. I've done this week. All right, let's get a few oracles to close this out. I feel like you have a good handle on this, Aquarius. Yeah, it's just like dealing with the icky stuff. 8 rules, transformation, transition, making changes, not always the easiest. Kind of sometimes having to go to the more shadow, grimy places, feeling the dirt, the ickier feelings, etc. But it's actually bringing about that level of rebirth, which I think is really beautiful. There's a lot of healing that's coming from this, and as you heal, you're going to feel more of that stability. Just remember, you get the information that you need in the time that you need it. So yeah, keep that watchful eye. You're just getting confirmation on what you already know. Sometimes people have our heart. Sometimes it's worth it to work through it, and sometimes it's worth it to separate it. You know, there is that value, and not to be Debbie Downer, everyone has free will, how they want to, you know, proceed forward in certain relationships. We also need to know, like, the times when a person, place, or thing has served its purpose, you know. There might be an imbalance in the dynamic. We saw that with the control, the needing things to be a certain way, always with the upper hand. You see it for what it is, so now move strategically, Aquarius, is what that's basically saying. You know, and I feel like when we're in situations like this, especially with someone we're close with, you know, it really requires us to be aware of ourselves, who we are, how we show up in the dynamic, as well as them, what they do, what their ploy is, because it's going to give you a little bit more knowledge and wisdom with how to proceed forward. you already know. I feel like some of that's going to be continually confirmed throughout the week. So I'm sending all the love and blessings to what you do navigate. I know these things aren't always easy. I'm here for any amount of support that is needed through reading, energy healing, wellness consult. Thank you for your love and support to the channel. I so appreciate it. Lots of love and blessings to you.